I'm cold. I'm just gonna wait for people to join because I don't see anything yet. I don't know why I have a piece of hair that always just does that. Hi guys. I've been saying too often. I'm gonna answer some questions. I said that was like the first story post. If you didn't know already, I've been taking over the Netflix page all day. I guess I should just start because you guys have been asking so many questions. There's no way I'm gonna get to them all, but let's see. Okay. Favorite scene with Joe? I like the social media scene. I like the hey creep scene where I'm like, hey, do me a favor, instead of Delilah, anything else. I'm censoring it for the live. That was a pretty great scene. It was just fun because like at that point in our relationship, we had established that we were friends. And also later on in that scene, Delilah and Ellie discuss how much they like Joe, which I find very sweet. But then also the burn in hell scene, of course. And also, hold on. Should I save this live? There was a question up here that I'll click on it. Hardest scene to film was the burn in hell scene. And the reason why I say that is because it was the last scene that I had ever shot. And we were rushing. I think we were a little behind in our schedule. So we shot that scene in like less than an hour. Super quick. And it's a lot of pressure because, you know, Ellie learns so much information. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time speaking, but she has to absorb all this information in such a quick manner and then is told to ditch her entire life, which is a lot to put on a 15, basically 16-year-old. James, I love you. I love you so much. It's crazy. If you guys don't know, 40 is my favorite character. I'm obsessed with James, and what he did with 40 is just... I love you. Was it James or am I tripping? I may have just done... Yeah, it was James. Okay, I'm just making sure because I just saw... Will you be in season 3? I wish I could tell you the answer. I'm not sure. I think it should be known that not even half the time, most of the time during season 2, I had no idea what was going on at all, while everyone else did. So in terms of season 3, I'm not the person to ask because information does not come to me at all the time. Whatever. Was it exhausting working on you? Like it was hard to incorporate? I wouldn't say it was hard to become Ellie because I feel like there's so many teenagers like her. She's just very... Not to say she's basic, but you know, she's white, but I know people like her and I relate to her in some ways. So becoming Ellie wasn't hard. I think the harder part of shooting was, I guess, just energy, the intensity of the set. You know, when we're shooting the darker scenes, the more emotional scenes, you know, it changes the tone of the set, and that can get tiring, holding that energy for long periods of time. Let's see what else we have. Can I just swipe, or do I have to do that thing? Oh, that's annoying. When filming, what did you rock? Thank you so much. When filming, what did you do to get into character? I didn't do much, really. I feel it's pretty easy for me to snap in and out of it. Emotional scenes, if I could stay in that emotional state for a little bit, that's gonna help. Like for the 209 breakdown scene, I had been listening to music when I walked on to set, and a sad song had just so happened to come on. It was She's Mine Part 1. She's Mine Part 1 had come on. And then I just kept that song on loop. So, like, in between takes, I would put the headphones on so I didn't have to listen to other people's conversations and whatnot. But now I can't listen to that song and not get emotional, because as soon as I hear the violins in the background, just my eyes water, because I connected with that memory of shooting and whatnot. It's ruined the song for me. I don't know what I clicked on. How did it feel switching from a child-friendly role to a more mature audience? It was a big change, but it was also a nice change. I've never been on a project like you, and it was a learning experience for sure. And especially, I had been out of the drama genre for such a long time, it felt. So it was kind of nice getting back into that and learning new things. And I don't know, I'm just glad that I could reach a different audience. And, you know, as an actor, you never want to be pigeonholed into one category or only seen in a certain light. And I thought it was really amazing that I was given the opportunity to be on You to prevent that from happening. Sorry, I'm just looking for questions. Another season of You is coming 2021. Season 3. 2021. Be aware. So I'm assuming, yeah, shooting starts this year. Which one is your favorite season? Okay, can I be completely honest? I haven't seen all of season 2. I've only seen all of season 1. I really appreciate my cast, and I love my cast so much on season 2. Season 1 was amazing as well. But I think just knowing my cast members and knowing that they absolutely killed it and brought something to the show without, you know, throwing off the tone, and just, I think just knowing my cast members and knowing that they absolutely killed it and brought something to the show without, you know, throwing off the tone, and just doing such an incredible job, I'm going to say season 2. But yeah. To clarify, I've seen a lot of season 2, but I haven't seen my parts. Actually, like, episodes 9 and 10, I haven't seen or gone into, and then I've just kind of skipped over my parts. That's all I gotta say about that. Tell us more about how angelic Robin is. All I'm gonna say is, when I met him at the table read, he has the most infectious smile, and I swear it's like a little halo of light surrounds him at all times. That's all. What episode of You is your favorite? If we're doing season 1, I'm going to say episode 6. And the reason why I say episode 6 is because during the second act, there's a moment where Joe just he had just gotten in a car accident, and he wakes up, and there's this eerie music playing, and I don't know why, but I felt like that described the tone of the show, and it fit perfectly with the vibe they were trying to give off. I don't know, I just love it so much. And then for season 2, I'm going to say episode 208, which is the acid trip episode. When I read that, I could not wait. Filming that was so fun. You guys know the part, I mean, I'm assuming everybody on here has already seen. If not, I may spoil something for you. But the scene where James jumps out of the window. We were filming that. We had to cut because Penn and I were laughing so hard. James's first take on that was hilarious. And then obviously stunts comes in and they're like, oh, it may be safer for you to do it like this, and then they're like, hey James, not necessarily stunts, but then the director's like, hey, try falling like this, try whatever. I think they ended up using the first take, but it was so funny. Like, you had to be there. I could not believe it. And Penn and I were just like, what happened? And then they're like, Penn, Jenna, and we're like, okay. And then they had to cut because we couldn't keep ourselves together. That was hilarious. But also the special effects, like when Love's eyes get all big, and the whole trip within itself is insane. That was funny. Oh my. Did you know Penn from Gossip Girl, or was it your first time seeing him? I have not seen Gossip Girl. So you was the first time I had seen Penn. At least I think. Maybe I saw him in something else, I'm not sure. Were some parts filmed in real places or just sets? We filmed both. I know the sets were, that piece of hair is bugging me so much. Sets were the cage, the interior of our department, the interior of Joe/Will's apartment, Love's room. Was it Love's room or Penn's room? Whatever room had the white flower above it. I know those were sets, but then